way on a hidden trail that loves on.
Jack.
Yes.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Yes, okay, so this is the Matecast, and now that we've gotten that little joke out of the way, we can move on with our lives.
That was a joke?
No.
Because Australian.
Right, right. And because we're going to talk about mating and relationships.
Mating?
Yeah, and relationships and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the mating. I thought it was just because we were mates.
Yeah, see? I slipped all these things in there.
Oh, God.
Obviously, I've been married for a little more than a year, but I'd known my wife for about 19 years, off and on. And one of the things that you and I, like, we know a lot of people who discuss having difficulties in meeting people to whom they, yes.
Mentioning no names.
Of course not.
So let's just say there was a guy called, let's say some generic name like Johnny. And let's say that Johnny really couldn't meet women and, you know, didn't have much luck in love and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, I don't know, Barry. You think of any other random names that come to mind?
You know, oddly, those are the only two that spring to mind immediately.
Yeah, they're just two examples of random names. So.
Yeah, that we would never, yeah.
Yeah. It's
always tough because I do talk to people, named Jerry or Bonnie, and they say, how...
Jerry or Bonnie?
Yeah. How do I talk to somebody for the first time? How did it get started for you?
Well, first of all, let's just not make this seem as if, like, you're talking to some master who knows the secrets, because, like, that would be an arrogant place to put myself in and not entirely honest.
But I
suck as much as the next Johnny.
Now that is bragging.
Yeah.
However,
I don't know, the way I met my current girlfriend, I don't know whether you know that story, but
I don't, that's the thing.
Oh, really? Oh, well, it's maybe the best like introduction story you've ever heard. We were I was working, as you may or may not know, as a Santa Claus in a department store.
That's right.
A Christmas display last year, and my girlfriend was actually working as one of the elves, or the Santa's little helpers at the time. And so yeah, we met through that, and there was no pressure on me because I was already, Santa Claus. I was almost like the boss, the big boss there. So she used to just sort of come up to me and chat to me while there were no kids waiting to come and sit with Santa. And yeah, so it was a bit of an abnormal. I couldn't really say that I went up and chatted her up at random. And I think that's a good point, is that often circumstances surrounding any casual encounter with someone play more of a part than anything that you can really control. All you can really do is recognize opportunities when they present themselves. But I think that a lot of people try to force that initial encounter and try to make something from nothing, whereas it's really more about I think just recognizing any initial chemistry and recognizing an opportunity to talk to someone, as it comes. But people who go up and like try to I don't know, impose themselves on a group, on a girl that they see that they like, I don't ever really see that working out unless you're a lot better looking than I am, or the average person is.
Like, I know for myself, the way that Chauncey and I met was she had a roommate whose brother had been my roommate the year before in college, and so when she was coming out to visit, she just took Chauncey along, and, it was like, oh, my friend Chris, he's kind of weird, but I think you'll like him. But it was not like with the I think you'll like him. It was just kind of, he's a cool guy to hang out with. And then it was one of those weird... Yeah. Well, no, it was weird because it was one of the only times like that whole thing where I was like, I just saw her and like we both kind of talked about it later and said, yeah, we knew something kind of important was going to happen. Boring. Every other situation, I mean, I remember my freshman year of college even, and I was at some party, and I didn't even drink then, going up. I wasn't even going up to somebody, but I was standing there awkwardly in silence, and a female person talked to me to say, "Where's the bathroom?" And I said, "It's over there. Oh, by the way, I'm Chris. I'm not hitting on you." Like, because I thought any conversation with female equals trying to, get my Mac on. Jack, I'm now about to go break bad.
Smoke you a cigarette. Funny do bad things. Smoke you a cigarette. Funny do bad things. Funny do bad things.
So,
Okay.
I have 5 sex positions, Jack. 4 of them are real. And that's going to be ludicrous. And one of them I made up.
Okay.
I want you to tell me which one I made up.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. 1.
Alright.
Saucy spoons. 2. Now and Zen. 3. Rockabye booty. 4. Take a seat. 5. The seahorse. Because the other four were published as sexual advice in a publication with a circulation of millions.
Yeah, Cosmo though. I mean, shit. Okay. See, I think now I'm more trying to get into your head rather than get into Cosmopolitan. Like, I'm just trying to figure out which. I think Now and Zen sounds like one you'd make up. So I'm gonna go with the seahorse.
Okay, both Now and Zen and seahorse are real.
They
just pathetic.
Rockabye booty.
No, Take a Seat.
Oh god.
And do you know why I picked that? Because Take a Seat was advice from one of their columns.
There you go. Well, take a
opposed-
seat. Kind of actually, I'm imagining it as like sitting sex.
Exactly, and it probably could be a position, but they just haven't written on it yet. Yeah.
What a piece of shit that magazine is, honestly.
No, for real. Because seriously, with 5 secrets to sexier sex.
Yeah, the sealed section that's too hot to have open in the magazine store.
Really? They have that?
Yeah, they've got like a sealed, in lots of the Cosmos back home, they have like a sealed section. Like, you have to cut it open or like tear it open once you bought.
Okay, now, obviously, you've experienced North American, and US and Canada are pretty much the same as far as the sexual mores and customs. Now, obviously, Australia being big, and you know as well as I do that, 40 people in a country, and you can't generalize. You can't generalize about Guam. However, many Australians that I have met that are guys, it seems like there's a thing where the dads are, like, they're often the first ones to, like, get high with their kids, or, I know in at least one case, take them to a house of ill repute, so that, they would learn from a professional the first time.
Yeah.
Which, here, that would be, no, you don't, like, do that.
Yeah.
And I know that you've got, obviously, a very good relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
Do you find that he's more kind of like your friend and that you can kind of talk more openly about this stuff?
Absolutely, but I don't know whether I could say that that's an Australian thing. I know that of the people I know, my dad is sort of one of the more chill, sort of cool, and I guess, more liberal, as you Americans would say.
Right.
Liberal people. In Australia, actually, the Liberal Party is the Conservative Party, which is why I make the distinction.
Oh, right, yeah. And I guess your dad would have to be, because I thought it was really interesting to hear in Stuff About Things, Jack's podcast, quick plug, that your mom, who I really admired some of the stuff because, being a doctor and all that, but I thought it was interesting that she at least was once, if not currently, kind of very radically feminist and went that direction. Whereas my household was very conservative. So has that kind of informed your idea of what you expect out of a relationship? Do you kind of like emulate your dad, or do you kind of like want to go the other way and think, well, if I had kids, I'd probably be a bit more strict because I don't want them to be like me?
Well, I think that for one thing, I don't really think it's a choice that you make. I think that it's well, not having kids myself, so I can't speak yet. But I think that we have, whether we rally against it or whether we sort of try to emulate our parents, we are just a product, just as they were a product of their parents. They fuck you up, your mom and dad. They may not mean to, but they do. They fill you with the faults they have and save some extra just for you. But they were fucked up in their turn by fools in old-style hats and coats who half the time were soppy stern and half at one another's throats.
Children are weeping. The flowers will bloom no more. Yeti has conquered.
Yeah, to answer your question though, I think that my parents are both they're very different. Like my mum's sort of the, as you say, very successful doctor and feminist, and my dad, less professionally successful, but, and more relaxed, I think. So that, even though they're not together anymore, I think that they're, I got a little bit of both worlds, which I think is ideal. And I'll ultimately, probably both aspects of their personality come out in my relationships now.
In your current relationship, let's say, and I assume you've kind of worked some of this out by now,
Sure.
Like, for example, does she appreciate the show Louie?
You know what? She doesn't appreciate it as much as she should.
Now, and how do you feel about that?
I place way too much emphasis on taste in television. Like, I'm not emotional. I don't think I'm emotionally healthy for. Like, she loves the show Modern Family, and we genuinely had falling out about it. Where she's being the mature one, like, I just like it, like, I just like it for whatever reason, and you don't have to like it, but I do, and I'm like, oh, but it's really like, but how can you like that? What's? I assume that enjoying some form of entertainment that I don't is a major character flaw. When some people, things like that don't really define you as much as they do, the way I see it.
If it was a situation where you sort of knew that, okay, as part of your dating life, she's going to go over here to watch Modern Family and you have to go over here to watch Louie, but you're okay with doing that separately, and then you sort of find other things that you have in common, is that an exchange that you feel like is acceptable? Yeah,
look, you gotta... I would prefer not to have that happen, but it's not a deal breaker or anything like that.
Right.
It's, look, everyone can like what they want, and I'll just keep my sense of feeling superior in taste and intelligence to myself. And
right. Word association, Jack.
Okay.
CougarLife.com.
First thing that pops in my head, shoes.
Nice. Okay, I didn't have any more. Sweet. Awesome! Well, yes, dude, that was fantastic. And, okay, somebody's been calling me like crazy here, so I better...
He was 6'4" and full of muscle.
I can't do it. I'm sensing your frustration.
Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world.
It'd help if I knew the words of the song before I started singing it.
Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world.
Wait, is it wild or wide? Oh, I'm sure Cat Stevens didn't really care that much about his lyrics anyway, so...
She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast.
And I think...
See it come from a land down under.
away. A whim away, 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 a whim away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Whim away, a 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 whim away.